And welcome everybody to the 6v6 draft. I am one of your captains, Ward. Joined alongside me is Topaz, one of your captains, and today we are both gonna be casting this draft together. Now I gotta ask Topaz, this is gonna be your first time being captain, I believe, and it's in a 6v6 format. So talk to me a little bit about how this is gonna pan out.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for it. Like you said, this is my first time doing it. I'm planning on being a captain next Aurora season as well, so this is really just practice for me. Um, I'm more worried about the Pokemon draft that we have after this, because I think that's going to be a lot of drafting for one day.
Dude, I'm so true. I just got off of another draft, if you can believe that or not. But
Yeah.
I'm not here to dwell on the past. I'm here to look at the future. And the future are these potential candidates to get drafted. We have 28 total players, 24 people to get drafted. And Topaz, give me a little bit of insight. Give me some thoughts on who do you think's gonna go off the board early? Who do you think is gonna go off the board late? Who do you think's maybe a sneaky pick that nobody's talking about?
Yeah, well, I think interestingly is there are eight GM players, right? Or if you count Neptune as
Yep.
GM, which, close enough. So potentially 4-4 split there. We'll see how that goes. I think another big thing is there's an awkward amount of below diamond players that there's
Mm-hmm.
going to be a mismatch of how many players have a below diamond player. And obviously, a lot of the captains are also either just barely diamond or just below diamond. We have four low SR captains, which I think is going to be a very interesting aspect to the draft. As for people that are a little underrated, I mean, probably Pokemon guy, to be completely honest.
Real, bro. I
But
was thinking about actually going for him with my first pick. No leaks, no
Yeah,
leaks. But
like he
like,
kind of. I mean, you don't have to play him on DPS, but I think that he's a very interesting option.
yeah, I definitely agree. And I think another dynamic that is definitely going to be important to talk about is I've heard some rumors that three and potentially even four of the captains may be playing tank this season. So
Mhm.
we'll have to wait and see how that pans out because there are obviously a lot of good tank prospects. But for the, I guess, secondary numbers for tank, they might get drafted a bit later, and the primary tanks might be drafted a bit earlier.
Yeah, it's also an interesting question of like with it being 6v6, you kind of want an off tank and a main tank, and obviously a lot of tank players nowadays kind of have to like I know for example Wind like he kind of started playing after 6v6. He's really just a 5v5 player, so like he's not really an off tank player or a main tank player, and I think there's a lot of them like that where that's just not really a thing anymore. So I don't know. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? I think it's just kind of interesting, and we'll have to see how that pans out.
And I'm hearing rumors, I'm hearing rumblings in the captain chat that the draft is live. It is now underway, and I think we may be having the first pick coming in very, very soon here on the board. We'll see if Panini, the voice in our head, the man behind the scenes, the guy behind. Oh, there it is. Oh my God, War picks Neptune. Topaz, what are your thoughts on this pick?
I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? I was thinking about picking him up. He's obviously the highest
Ooh,
SR player. It makes sense for you to pick him up too, since I believe you're the lowest
yes, I
on
am.
the yeah, so it just makes sense like to offset it. I think it's a good pick by you. Um but a little upsetting that I don't get to pick him, but oh well.
Oh, and an interesting selection by Topaz. Goes for Wind for the second pick. Makes me kind of wonder what's the play there? What's the meta there? I do think that this is a very good pick. I think Wind, like there was rumblings that he was gonna go on to this like get picked in the second round, and I think that would be like, slanderous for somebody of that caliber. The Ramshackle Roosters Rookie of the Year, like potential winner, like absolute goat
I
there.
mean, he was the MVP. He was the MVP of Aurora
True, true.
season 6, right? Like
True, true,
I
true.
have to pick him.
That's so true. And I had asked, Hope, are you planning on building the synergy from the MNSU team? That's my question.
I don't know. Well, it's only Moon is the only other one that's here. And I think if I were to play support, I don't want to load up all my SR points in support. So I'm not sure. I'm not against it entirely, but it's also like Foster isn't there and uh Invictus isn't there, so it's kind of hard to have a full MNSU roster, but there's a chance.
Oh, and we have a drastic turn of events as the third pick is in and Cat has selected Melon. And if you're talking about value for SR, this is probably your person to go for. Melon, absolute gamer on these sticks. I saw him in chat earlier today, and he's somebody who helped carry the Sydney Sea Dragons to basically second overall, I think, in Aurora. So a great pick, a great person to have to like sort of round out your team.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, Melon was my next pick. So great pick from Pat. I think Melon is an amazing player. So unfortunate.
Unfortunate. I think a lot of people's draft plans are definitely going to be swapping up here. I can even see um right now Panini and Ox in call together, scheming what they're going to do next because at this point, I mean, I think there's definitely an assumption that some gamer named Ass Design would be off the board, but the fact that he's
Yeah.
available into this second round is a lot of potential value that we I guess you should definitely consider. I know AST is somebody who can also flex over to that tank role, flex to that DPS role. So value on both roles. The SR might be a bit clunky, but it's definitely somebody you can build a team around.
I mean, it's crazy that there's only been one, and it's been three picks, right? I don't know if the fourth has gone live
Fourth
yet,
has
but
gone live. It's Ox.
okay.
Yeah, baby, Oaks, Ox,
Yeah.
Poi, bless ya, as the kids these days
Yeah.
say.
Interesting. Yeah, only two GM players have been picked, 2 out of 4. So interesting what what me and Kat are doing, I guess, and what are I mean, I know where my mind is at, but I wonder what Kat's up to. I would have expected her to pick up a GM player, so very interesting
Yeah,
pick.
I'm very interested by that as well. And okay, I don't mean to theorize. I don't mean to like get too much into the draft theory, but I'm wondering if the fancy pick is potentially in the cards for Panini right now. I feel like that's what the decision has to be. It has to be, do you go for fancy, get that insane positional value and somebody who can like definitely help carry the tank line, or do you go for like an AST, get that DPS, you have somebody in Panini who can play support and tank. You have Oaks, probably maybe like the best tank in the draft right now. So I think it's more of a question of do you want to stack up or do you want to get flexibility? And they're actually going to go neither route and pick up Yak. Very interesting.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, dude, this is unprecedented.
I mean,
Unprecedented,
I'm gonna be
I say.
completely honest, Yak and Melon were my next 2 picks, so my draft is absolutely screwed right now.
It's in shambles. It's in shambles, one could say. And somebody
A lot of
tell
pick threes
Panini,
in
yeah,
chat.
he's made.
Yeah.
There have been three pick threes in the chat. I don't. Oh, there's the updating. Okay, so yeah, I guess I should have waited for this screen to actually update. Sorry, fans of stream, my bad. But yeah, Yak was the fifth overall pick, and now Cat is on the board. Looking at Cat's team right now, you already have that, I guess, starting tank player in Melon and somebody who can fit that low SR bill. Cat obviously wants to play tank herself. What do you think the next take is here if you're on Cat's side of the coin?
I mean, one thing that I think is might be overlooked a little bit is how weak the DPS slots are. Like almost all of the GM players are either tank or support,
Yep.
and there's a
Yep.
huge gap in DPS. So I wonder how quickly the DP. I mean, it makes sense that Yak was picked so quickly, right? Like you want that very solid DPS player, because there's not very many of them. So I think it
Agreed.
makes
Agreed.
and like makes sense to pick up Neptune as well for that exact same reason. Like he's just a he's the strongest DPS player. It makes sense to pick him up. So
Yeah. And again, it also comes down to it's not like just a high SR DPS. It also comes down to where you are getting value for your SR, you know? Because obviously you have
mm,
like AST who you can build an amazing team around, but if you already set out a amount of SR that you're putting onto Oaks, the amount of SR you're putting onto Yak, if you set out that much SR, it's really hard to balance AST into that team. So it's going to be, I guess, a question of how can these players balance all of their options to figure out what's best for them. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Yeah, no, I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know. I don't know how long it takes for it to go live, so I don't want to leak it early. But
No
um,
worries. No, Panini's slacking over there. He's having a draft prep. And look at us. We're casting while we're doing this. We're locked
yeah,
in. We're
we're
ready to go.
we're the better. Are they casting too?
No, they're not casting too. They're in there scheming, bro. They're
Okay.
scheming, bro.
Yeah.
They're
Okay.
scheming.
Okay.
They're thinking of a million possibilities. Do you know? Hey, fun fact stream. Panini did create an algorithm that solved for all 3,650 possible drafts he could do. Wild, wild, I say. And you want to know
Yeah. Kind
who
of a
who those drafts didn't have? Topaz and War, and that's why he's losing.
yeah.
That's what I gotta say.
Rude.
You should have thought about us.
They should have, for real. 100%, I'd say. Maybe even 1,000%.
But probably 1,000. I would say probably 1,000.
I would say like
Yeah.
definitely 1,000. Interesting.
You know,
So, well, I'm waiting for this to update. Yeah, I don't want to spoil stuff, you know?
yeah.
Do you want me to just go over and tell? Oh no, here he is. Here he is. Update the sheet. Cat comes in with the
Mhm,
sixth pick on
mhm.
to Silvertall's a very valuable player to have on that support role. And Topaz yourself coming in with AST design. I'm really sad I couldn't duo off AST and Neptune, but
Yeah.
I guess I'll take what I can get, you know.
Were you going to?
I mean, dude, if I had the option to, man, like I probably think I would have. It's
Yeah,
like
that's the
feeding
only reason I
candy to a
like
baby, you know? Like it's crazy.
I genuinely had not that I didn't have interest in him, but I did not think I was going to be picking up AST.
Mhm.
But it's just
It's
really
like,
hard for me to say no to such an amazing
yeah, I
player.
know. That's so true. And now we have War on the board, who selects Mardox, in my opinion. Very, very, very strong support to take.
Yeah. Oof. I got to figure out what I'm going to do now. I have no idea.
You want to tell me so I can pick the person you're gonna pick?
Yeah.
Dude, that's the fun thing. We're like
Yeah, I
we're
actually
back
have
to
no
back
clue.
on each other. So
Yeah, we could
I
just
can
screw each
screw you.
other up.
Yeah, yeah, true, true, actually. Um, what I'm trying to do also is I'm trying to, as I go, I'm trying to like see like, oh, how does your team pair? How does like another team
Hmm.
pair, right? Like who would you pick? Who would somebody else pick in this situation? To see like can I deny value? Can I gain value? Can I do anything to help with that?
It's
Who
how
knows?
much can I screw up
How
Topaz is
much
what
can
you're
I screw
thinking
up
right now.
Topaz is like actually like what I'm thinking right now, and I actually don't think this pick is gonna screw up Topaz, but this guy's my goat, so I gotta
Good,
select
good,
him.
good. I mean, you kind of messed me up, I'm not
I
gonna
did?
lie.
Oh my god, did I actually?
I mean, I was thinking about it. He's kind of too high of SR now for me, but
Oh,
there was a
imagine not
world
being
in
your
which I
own
did
SR
that.
sync. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, who says I'm not playing DPS though?
Oh, real, I forgot about your DPS. Dude, who
Yeah, I have a
says
horrible DPS
Fancy is
rating.
not playing support for me? Let's be so
Hmm.
real.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Anyways, War with the ninth pick picks up the Fancy character. It looks like very interesting pick for War. Now he has a double, a tank, a DPS, and a support in himself. Which who knows where he's gonna slot himself? Probably on tank though. I want to play tank. It'd be so fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Oh, now I honestly have no clue who I'm gonna pick.
Dude, I think I know who you should pick. I don't want to say it, but I think I
Who,
know who you should
just say it. Say
pick.
it. No, no, no.
No,
Say it.
no,
I
no,
need
no,
help.
no.
I need help.
I can't. No, no, I can't. I can't leak. I can't spoil these things, you know? Can't overcook, can't undercook. Just gotta normal cook sometimes, you know? Just gotta normal cook.
Normal cook
Yeah.
things.
But yeah, I will say you do have one tank, one DPS, one support. And I think this is where it comes down to, like, do you value the like I feel like a common concept in Aurora esports is like the overvalue of the, I guess, DPS role, where you kind of want to like lock in your hyper carry DPS as soon as possible. But I think in 6v6 and as the meta has like sort of evolved, I feel like supports kind of gain a lot of value because they can sort of act as like your second DPS if they're good enough. I think that's one of the reasons why like Silvertals, for example, very good pick up for Cat's team simply because Silvertals is able to gain just so much value while healing the team on that flex support role. And Silvertals
Yeah,
and
I
Melon
think
is like
it's
a dangerous combo, I won't lie.
yeah. See, I guess the main thing that I'm just to I guess say my thoughts is
Mhm.
I'm deciding what right now which role I'm gonna play, and
Yep.
that kind of decides the rest of my draft. But I guess I don't want to take up
No, no, no,
too
dude.
much
Here's the
time.
thing. Like you're taking up time, but you can also talk freely here, you know?
That's true. I but
Nobody's going to
see the
steal your
issue is
pick
like
anymore. I am not stealing your pick. I don't pick for a while now, so do your thing, man.
yeah,
Whatever you
but
need,
how
I
much
got.
I no, I've decided
You've
and I'll just leak
decided?
it.
Oh, he's leaking it.
Yes. This is it's Tsunemi is my choice, which is kind of a crazy thing to pick just because I have three high rated players. But I think with Tsunemi specifically, and Win to some extent as well, I
Mhm.
can put them on their off rolls.
Mhm.
But it also allows me to play DPS and have such high rated players around me as well.
Nice.
Um, which doesn't sound like the worst thing in the world to me.
Interesting. Okay. So, and I feel like with that also, I feel like you haven't committed to either playing
Yeah.
support or no, I don't want to speak for you, you know? I'm not one to
No,
like
you're right.
infringe on your strategy, but yeah, I don't think you've decided yet.
No, no. I exactly that's the other part is like I could still kind of do whatever I want,
Yep.
which is pretty huge. So yeah.
Yeah. There's one player I'm surprised hasn't gone off the board yet. But these were I was saying this before. I think there was like 10 to 12 players that were like the meta
Hmm.
pick, right? And I think the one I guess that hasn't gone off yet, I think is Moon. But I don't
Hmm.
know. Do you guys do you and Moon
He
like
is
play
the
the
highest
same?
rated player
He's
left.
the highest rated player left. That's what I gotta say. Yeah. And if you're just
Yeah.
drafting high rated players, that's fine.
So Moon's more of a flex support and I'm more of a main support, but I can play flex support too. And I'm also not very high on support in 6v6. I don't think it's as huge of a deal to have lower rated support players. I'd much rather have stronger DPS and tank players.
Okay.
Um, so that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Yeah. And I think this
And
is
I
like, oh yeah, no, you go.
well, I also wonder like, does if everyone else has a flex support player, like, when does Moon get picked though?
That's a good,
And
great
other
question.
other flex support players too.
Hmm.
So
And there's
yeah.
some support players here who I think don't describe themselves as either, right? Like
Hmm.
you have, I think you have players like Jack, I'd say, who like play a decent amount of flex support, but they also have a couple main support heroes that they're very fond of playing. So
Mm.
you do have like players that have that double option that you can just pair with like a certain specific player, but they're also harder to get into a certain comp. And with
Yes.
the, I guess, Cat Teddy M pick, you're again putting that emphasis on the DPS role. You need to have one of those high SR DPS. I think that Teddy M is a great person to do that. So interesting.
Yeah. I mean, Teddy M is who I was looking at next as well. I think he just makes a lot of sense. And he's, as far as I'm aware, he's kind of a underrated player too. Um, so I think he's a great pickup.
I would
There's a lot of
wholeheartedly
these
agree.
3,500
Wholeheartedly agree.
DPS players too, but a lot of them have been picked up now.
Yep, and I think this is when you're going to see like the big crunch on players like that. Panini with the 12th pick, not updating it himself because he's currently thinking about his 13th pick or the 13th pick overall, is going to pick up Moon. So we do see that final GM player kind of slip off the board, and that makes a lot of sense because Panini up until this point, he didn't really have himself a support player. But with Moon,
Hmm.
gets that support player, and I think he set himself up in a very good position.
Yeah, no, it just makes sense, right? At the end of the day, it just makes sense to pick up someone like Moon. It's to leave him off of your team, even if like just for like double flex stuff. I don't have Panini's team pulled up, but pull up double flex. I mean, he's a great Brig player as well. When we were in that last meta, he was Brig and I was playing the Juno. So I think it just makes sense to pick him up at this point.
For sure, for sure. I'm currently scheming, trying to find
Yeah, me
legal
too.
teams.
Maybe captains should not have casted this. Maybe
No,
there was
no,
a
captain should
flaw
have
in that idea,
casted.
but
It's crazy.
yeah, now the question becomes like, in my opinion, I think there like you I agree with you. There's gonna be this huge crunch with these 35 to 300 to 3,000 the diamond players effectively. But I wonder if any captains are going to snipe some of those lower rated players to try to get them on their team to kind of uh, make sure that their team comps will actually pan out the way that they want them to.
Yeah, and I think that's a really interesting thing that I think you and Panini mostly look at. I think me and Kat, like, we sort of act as our own sync, and Kat with the
True.
Melon choice and the Teddy M choice, those are choices that are gonna just like build more of a flat team right now. So as of right now, Kat can just get like 3.6 player, 3.6 player, call it a day. She's good. Maybe even a
Hmm.
3.7 in there too. For teams like you and Panini, because you guys are 3K and up on the SR, I would say you likely have to start investing into a sync. It's just, will you guys do that earlier or later is the question, for at least that I have about your guys' picks.
Yeah, and it's also difficult, like to pick up players. Actually, hold on, let me see something really quickly.
Bro found another comp that works. he,
Yeah, I
he
was like, oh,
locked
wait a
in.
second. That's cool.
But it's interesting, like, and this is true for Panini as well to some extent, but it's more true for me. Is like once again, just like what role am I going to play? And I'm pretty sure Panini said he was going to play tank. But it's like, yes, he's a lower SR rated player, but like he's not exactly a sink per se. Because like 3,000, I guess it technically is, but it's not really that far off. So yeah.
I'm gonna be so real. I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure that me, you, and Panini might go support if in dire
Yeah.
situations, like we're willing to
Yeah.
switch it up. We are willing to switch it up, and that's what matters. Panini with the 13th pick goes for Sonic Chronic. Somebody who I was definitely looking at, and somebody who I think definitely has a lot of synergy with players in the league. And I know he signed up for that primary role as DPS, but his support is really good. His tank is really good. Panini can like easily have like a 1-for-1 with himself, flexing himself over onto a support
Mm.
role and Sonic onto a tank role. Those SRs line up perfectly at about that 500, 400 to swap out. So I really like that pick for Panini just because it gives him the flexibility. But I know that Sonic Chronic's not going to be free for, I think, Saturday. So he's also going to need to start looking who is a good person
Mm.
around Sonic Chronic's level that he can maybe snag in the 6th or 7th.
Yeah. No, I think once again, good pick. Ooh, makes it. I honestly, I wasn't looking at it at all, just because like I'm pretty sure he's a main support player, so like why would I pick him up? But around my SR, so it just doesn't make sense. But I've only heard good things about him, so definitely a solid pickup overall. And now, Cat, Cat, please don't do it to me. I have a feeling I know who she's gonna pick up because she's sniped me like twice now. But
The life of a
hopefully
middle
not.
pick.
Yeah.
The life of
Yeah,
somebody
hopefully
who's
I've sniped
picking
her
in the
too.
middle.
Hopefully it's been even.
That's always the goal, TBH. Like you always gotta think about that. Do you get that eco
I feel like
snipe, or is it a lesser
I
value
next
snipe?
time I got to do that more because I think it's so. I think you're right. I think it's so useful to just like take away a pick from somebody else. It's so. I mean, I'm not saying anything crazy here, but it's so useful to deny someone else viability.
Oh wait, frick, that showed up on screen. Oops. That's silly. Whoops. I realized that if I screenshot my pics, they totally show up on screen.
Yeah.
Dude, nobody, if somebody's gonna play the VOD back and figure it out, I'm cooked, I'm cooked.
Now they're definitely going to.
Yeah,
Maybe.
no, 100%. Like, I didn't even realize that. I'm cooked. Well, too bad that was like one of the four teams I'm expecting to do, so we'll see.
So where
Yeah.
is my admin Panini, and why is he not updating things for
Yeah, for
me?
real.
Wow, she actually sniped me again. This is
Dude,
this
that's
is
crazy.
crazy.
That was a snipe on me
This is
too, I won't
crazy.
lie.
Uh,
Paige is gonna come in with the wrecked cactus pick, my opinion, stellar pick. I was doing some what is it, it's called? Scouting of wrecked cactus. I was like, yo, that's crazy. This guy might be the GOAT. And I think he is.
yeah,
I think he is.
I, I I think he's just a really solid player, and it's kind of shocking that no one's picked him up yet.
Mhm.
Um, wait, let's see here. I honestly I think I'm gonna pick, but I'm not sure because the sheet.
The
So
sheet.
1 second. The sheet 100 points over. That's crazy. Um,
Yeah, and looking at your team, you're looking to fill either that, I guess, you're looking to definitely fill a support slot, and you're either looking to fill a double support slot or a tank slot. So now you got to start looking, if you're Topaz, at who who's the best spot to fill. Probably towards the flex support role, I would say, if I'm guessing correctly, if I'm
yeah,
assuming
that's kind of
correctly.
that is what I'm looking at right now. It's
Yup.
kind of a question of hmm,
Yeah,
it's
and
it,
definitely
it
very
really is a
tough
question of
question.
I think the sheet is fixed now,
Oh
outside
my
of Red
gosh.
Cactus.
What's wrong with the
oh no,
sheet?
perfect, thank you.
Huh? Was there something
It,
wrong with
it
the
it just wasn't
sheet?
updated.
Oh, weird. Whatever. I was doing it on the draft board, but I can always go over here to the teams, check it out. The Verdant Vipers. Did I pronounce that right? Verdant? Verdant?
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Nice.
Verdant, yeah.
The funny thing is I'm yapping like this,
Oh,
but I have no idea who I'm doing for my next two picks.
yeah.
It's crazy out here.
That's why I'm like, oh, I actually need to lock in and figure this out a little bit.
Oh, you don't need to lock in. You would never need to lock in. Who needs to lock in
No,
this economy?
not necessary. Because
Not
it's
necessary.
now it's like now it's a problem of if I mean I really just need to start looking at other people's
If
sheets,
yeah,
honestly.
so the gaps that people need filled theoretically, I need a DPS and a support. Topaz is looking for, as you said before, that double support or the tank potentially. We have Cat, who is looking for likely a DPS, but could always off-roll Red Cactus or Teddy M. Or sorry, likely a support, but could always off-roll Red Cactus or Teddy M from DPS onto support to give that other option. And then you have Panini, who just needs that final support player to round out the team, and definitely a couple who can slot in there at the correct SR. We just got to see which one he goes for. And that's going to be a while away
Yeah,
in terms of picks, though. So we'll have to see.
yeah. I guess with that,
With this analysis, my
hmm,
analysis helping or hurting? I got to ask.
it no, it is helping. I might. Is Tommy slot still open?
Tommy Slot is still open.
Oh, he's my pick then. That was so easy. That's perfect, actually.
W.
Tommy Slat, it is.
Oh my god,
I
that was
think
my pick,
he,
chat. I'm cooked. I'm
yeah.
cooked.
Unfortunate. I mean, I think it just makes sense to pick him up, though. It kind of locks me in a bit, but that's okay.
Hang on, I'm in mass communication with many people about who I should get. I have haters on all sides, you know? And I'm just trying to figure out like what's the best world with all these haters against me, with all these haters at my doorstep. I just got to figure out what's the best world for me to thrive in. And you know, let me check. Is this a possible world? No, that's not a possible world. Dang it. What the heck?
Am I picking up Pokemon guy? Is that
Are
what's
you
happening
picking
right
up
now?
Pokemon Guy, bro?
It might be.
Or I think he's
That
picking
would be
up
kind of
Pokemon
funny.
Guy, chat. What the heck?
What the heck? That would be so funny, actually. We might do that. He might be my goat.
He might be. Um, I'm doing calculus right now, by the way. I'm doing like algebra, trigonometry to figure this out. Even.
Need to take some Adderall to figure this out.
Yep. I gotta see. Wait, who's still? Okay, so the people who are still on the board. Let me just walk through. Bro, bro. Is there no like who's still on the board sheet? That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So I have to like do the math. Okay, the people who are still on the board are Flambo Jambo, Razmataz.
It's in captain sheet.
It's in captain sheet, bro. Send me
Yep.
captain sheet. What the heck?
You have it.
No, I don't. Send it to me. I want to know. You should tell me. Oh, thank you. All right. Oh wait, but I here. Wait. Oh, I don't want to show all that on screen. Okay. Well, I'll just read it. It is Dong, Rue, Capri, Charbitron, Pokemon Guy, Jack, HVSec, and Flambo Jambo. Hmm. Hmm. All right, chat. Here's the idea. Here's the idea, right? They said when you don't know what to do, they said when things are looking rough, things are looking tough, things are going unwell. You got to go back to your roots, and that's what I'm doing. I can't back down. I can't
Yeah.
give up. I can't let these guys get past me. Otherwise, I won't have another chance at them. Oh, wait. That I put pasted that one wrong.
Same person twice.
Yep. No. I edited in one place, but I didn't edit it in the other place. But like sometimes you just gotta commit. If you see good players on the board, you gotta take them. That's why I'm going for Jack and HV. Like there's no better players in this tournament than those two. Like let's be so real. Let's be so real. When when I when I talk about when I talk about legends in the world, in the space, I'm thinking about those two. And that's who I'm picking up. And we may only have
I
one
mean, it
legal
makes
comp
sense.
together, but that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
Because they're my goats.
I mean, I think I just know who I'm picking up then. I am very happy with this pick.
He's very happy with this pick.
Yeah,
Ooh,
very happy with that.
Razzmatazz. Nice. And then that is you onto the tank roll, I'd assume.
Yeah, yeah, I think there's a chance. I don't think I'm playing support.
But there's a
I
very
think I'm playing
interesting thing. Your team SR rise right now seems a bit over. over the
Yeah, well,
SR
I
cap.
can.
So does mine though. So
Yeah, there is one that we have where there's one that I know that we can play. Me and Joey on tank, AST and Raz on DPS, and then Tommy and Tsunemi on support, which is a little weird, but um it works out, which is the important part. Uh
yep.
and it's 21,600 right on the dot. But there are definitely some other ones that are going to be a little bit below the SR cap, um, with whoever I pick up next, basically. But I don't think it'll be that bad.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. Like,
I
you'll have two choices of who you could pick up next, and you'll leave me with one single choice. So, we'll have to
Yeah.
see what happens. Also, I have no way to get my revenge on you from stealing Tommy Slat, bro. Like, I wanted Tommy Slat. That guy's my goat. That guy's my goat. Like, what the heck?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. I mean, it is not how I thought this was going to go at all. I was thinking about picking up Melon and Yak and Teddy and Fancy and Mardoc and Wrecked Cactus. Like, I was thinking about picking up all those people, and I did not get any of them.
Dude, I thought that Fancy and Mardox were in the first round. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
Topaz. They said don't air beef on casting stuff. But I'm airing beef on casting stuff. Did you send Wind into my DMs to bait me, bro? Did
No,
you?
did he?
Did you, bro? He
That's
went into my
hilarious if
DMs
he
to
did.
bait me. I swear. I swear. Like, dude messaged me like, I don't know. I don't know when I'm gonna get picked up. I don't think I'm gonna be on. I don't think
I,
I'm gonna be on Topaz's team, guys. And
I
you pick
no,
over the
he's
second pick,
actually
bro. No, he's actually trolling me. He's actually trolling me, and I'm tired of it. I'm
he
sick
is.
and tired of it. That's what I gotta
I
say.
literally I literally told him I was gonna pick you up. He's such a little.
Dude,
I have choice words for him right now.
dude, that's why I only told him. That's why I only told him, yo, based off what I know, I don't know if you're going in the what was I gonna say? I don't know if next pick is in by the way. Cat selects Charbitron, amazing for the positional value. Love that
Hmm.
pick. Charb's the goat.
Yeah, I was thinking about picking him up. I mean, I think I remember casting them a couple times and
Mhm.
thinking that they were way higher rated than what they actually are. So I
Yep.
I think yeah, I think they're a great player.
I think that's how you gotta go into casting every time. You gotta go in like, oh, exactly what I expected from Panini too, by the way. To round out a team, it makes so much sense.
Who does he pick up?
Capri
Yep,
and
yep.
Dong, it allows him to go over onto the support role, put Capri on tank, himself on support, round out a team about 17 SR underneath the cap, and then one for one Sonic and Dong. Really simple, really easy, only dubs. And we are already on our final round. We get to see how some of these teams are shaping out right now. Somehow we have a lot of razzmatazes on this side of the sheet, but I don't know why.
Yeah. So we have three players left, right?
Yeah, with three players left, and
Wait.
those players are, and I know two of them have been in the chat this entire time, bro. Flambo Jambo, Toon Carter, and Rue Lupinus.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at there's one player that I planned my original draft around because I
Mhm.
thought
They're the
I don't
key,
know. I just, yeah,
the
and I really
solution.
hope I get them, but um, no leaks, no leaks. But there is a
No
chance that the
leaks.
way that my draft went, I can't do it. So we will see. But I am curious about something.
I'm happy with any of those three. I'm not gonna lie. And Rue, okay, well, Rue is gonna go to the Felines Cats team with the 22nd pick, which means me and you, are getting Flambeau or TC.
I mean, I almost just want to pick the person I've been thinking about because
Well, yeah.
how much
I
like
mean,
they deal
I,
with,
I'm
but
not I'm not gonna force you to overthink it. Me personally, I want one much more than the other. So you gotta guess now which one do I want more than the other. Good luck.
yeah. See, I'm just running some things really quickly to see. Oh, I mean, with that, I just kind of have to. Okay. This was my original goat of who I planned my entire draft around. Um, I chose Flambo Jambo. I think I really want to have him on DPS. I think it works really well for me and him to swap DPS. We can do that pretty well, and his tank is actually pretty close to my tank as well. And I'm a big fan of putting as a main support player. I'm a big fan of having a main support sync. I think that just makes a lot of sense, and I think Flambeau Jambo is not a sync. I think he's an amazing player for his rating. So I'm very excited to have him on my team.
And
I'm more
Flambeau
excited to have
Jambo
him on my team
replies,
than anyone
Topaz
else.
is not a knower. But I'm
Yeah,
more
no, I
excited to
am
have
no.
Tomb
I've
Crater
asked.
on my team than anybody else, bro. Let's lock in, bro. I told TC last night, I was like, you'd be if you're the last pick, bro, you're lucky. You're lucky. You know why? Because you're on a team with goats. And that's exactly where
Yeah,
it's at right now. Bro, let's go.
this is true.
Bro,
I'm
this
happy
is
with my draft.
I'm very happy with my
I don't know
draft.
about you. Yeah, good,
Dude,
good,
this is a fun
good.
draft. Do you
Yeah,
have
I
oh wait, hang on, let me switch over to the let me switch over to the teams tab. Oh my gosh, look at all these cool teams. They're so cool. Scroll down a tiny bit. There we go. Anyways, well, we have completed the draft for this year, this decade, this century. And it looks like we will have a very interesting competition on our hands. As a reminder, for anybody who doesn't know the schedule off the top of their head, which I, of course, do as a captain, on Friday at 7 p.m., there will be round one. And then 8 p.m. Shortly afterwards will be round two. And then on Saturday, there will be the final round before whatever this is, and then whatever this is. Yeah, I know what's happening,
whatever
guys.
this is.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Real. But here's your teams again, just so you guys know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very excited. I'm I love my team. I think we're gonna win. 100%. I don't think anyone else is gonna be able to challenge us. Flambeau Jambo is my goat. And yeah, I'm just ready to win.
Yeah, I am also ready to win. But with that, the Pokemon tournament is calling, and they say, Warren Topaz, you got to take your show off the air. You guys are too toxic, and you guys shouldn't have even been on this anyways. So with that, we gotta go. Topaz, do you have anything to say before we close off?
Uh, Not really. Excited to have to play this. I hope people watch. I hope people have fun. Um, yeah, very excited.
And I'm as well very excited for this tournament to begin. But for now, we got a week before start time. Let's have everybody meet their teams, have a great time together, and we'll see you next time in about an hour and 20 minutes for some
Yeah.
more Aurora esports action. Have a nice night, everybody. Bye bye.
Goodbye, goodbye.